It's time for the Gold Show. Jonathan Rose, CEO, President of the Capital Gold Group, and Precious Metals Investment Strategist is with us today. Jonathan Rose, as always, good to talk with you.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be here and to help educate our listeners the importance of having gold as a part of a balanced portfolio. We're going to talk about today some predicted gold prices that have been released out on the market. According to Reuters, UBS believes that gold may reach $2,500 an ounce by 2014. I believe it's going to be actually quicker than that, and these are some of the hot topics that we're going to be talking about on today's Gold Show.
Well, Jonathan, before we get started, you have a gold guide freshly updated for 2009 that you'd like to send to our listeners today, absolutely free, a normally $80 value. They're going to get it free if they call right now, right?
Absolutely. They'll get it free. It also comes with a great DVD. It's an education. You can see how gold is mined out of the ground and how it ends up in your hands, in your possession. And again, if you want the free gold guide, all they have to do, the listeners, is call us toll-free on today's broadcast at 1-800-510-9594. Again, folks, that number for the free gold guide is 1-800-510-9594. It will show you how to purchase gold at the lowest possible prices, which gold coins and bars will give you a better return in the future. And if you have an IRA or you've left a previous employer with a 401k, it will even show you how to protect those retirement dollars. It's all in there, and it's yours free just by calling us at 1-800-510-9594.
And I would urge you to call that number and get the information. So much is going on so quickly in the news these days, and it's a shame so many people have lost out on their 401ks right now, and people who've been in investments that have turned south on them. Jonathan, how has gold performed over the last, say, 5-8 years?
Well, in the last 4 or 5 months alone, we've seen gold be on a huge spike, and if we take a cross-section and keep going back year after year, it's actually repeatedly gone up, every year for the past 8 years. So there's a reason why gold has been going up. People are looking at the numbers. Some years it's jumping up 10-15%. Other years it's jumped up 20-30%. But if we look at a cross-section, it's going up in a steep curve right now, and this curve is going to continue to climb, especially as the economies falter, as the recession's actually getting worse, and as we're pumping more money into the economy, as the Congress keeps passing all these stimulus bills to, not pumping millions, it's not even billions anymore, it's trillions, and we get so accustomed to saying it's hard to fathom exactly how much money that is, but as the more money we're spending, it's creating inflation, and especially fears of hyperinflation, and that's why we're seeing especially a flight to safety and security with gold. Gold is the only asset that's actually kept pace with inflation over the past 20 years. And if we were to just adjust for inflation today, gold should already be at $2,400 an ounce. And maybe that's one of the factors the UBS analysts are looking at when they're expecting gold to be at $2,500 an ounce by the year 2014.
Well, let's get into that. This week you've got some projections here by several different estimates on where gold will go. Take us into that. What are they saying then?
Well, they're expecting gold to skyrocket, just like we've been talking about this past several years. And as people are realizing that their money is not safe in the banks, not only do they have the fear of the banks collapsing, now we have a compiled fear that the FDIC may go bankrupt itself. And as we're lending out all of this money and it's not being replenished, it's causing rampant inflation. And as people consider inflation to be, it's a very insidious thing. Maybe a candy bar that cost $1 this year, well, it can cost $1.17 next year. And it's kind of like leaving a caterpillar on the leaf, but imagine that leaf is the US dollar. Well, you come back to it and a small chunk is being taken out piece by piece, and it's a very bad situation. And as President Obama said, things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. And in doing so, people are looking for new vehicles, somewhere safe they can put their money. And one place is definitely gold. It's been around for centuries. Members of the royal families, heads of state, they've been using it as well. And other experts and other Wall Street pundits are actually predicting gold to be more at the $3,000 to $4,000 an ounce in the next 5 years, and that's something I'm definitely aligned and definitely agree with them on.
Jonathan, what's this I read about China concerned, warning the U.S. that they're not happy with our monetary policy right now, that they're concerned with all this money pumped in, China is holding up our economy?
Well, in one sense they are, because they hold more of our foreign debt than any other country. So if China really loses faith in the US dollar, which apparently they are, they would like to flood the markets back with all these dollars and maybe shift into another currency, which is maybe stronger and maybe more stable. If that was to happen, that could actually completely cripple the economy over here and come to a grinding standstill. I don't think any G20 or G8 summits would actually let that happen, which consist of the top nations around the globe. But they're also talking about at these national summits is the fact that there could be eventually heading to one currency from Northern America to South America. Now, if that was to happen, I couldn't even begin to think about the ramifications of what that would mean to us, because if there was a one currency from the Northern American Union Treaty, it would basically mean there would be a currency conversion, and nobody knows what that would mean, but it wouldn't be a good thing.
Well, it's hard to know the future, but we do know the recent past, and we have seen people's 401ks decimated in the markets, dropping by 30, 40, 50%, many of them, and that's the average, and yet they're told by their brokers, keep it there, sit back, don't do anything. I understand some people aren't heeding those words anymore, are they?
No, absolutely not. And when people say ride it out, you may want to think twice about that. And I always give this analogy on how the value of the dollar really diminishes, and that's regardless if the stock market is going up or if it's going down. And if we imagine we were back in the year 1920, and we took a $20 gold piece and a $20 bill, well, they were both worth the same, and in fact, they would both buy a man a brand new suit. Now, today, that same $20 1-ounce gold piece is worth over $1,000. That's the price you'd pay for a 1-ounce gold coin today, and it would still buy a man a brand new suit. Yet that $20 bill, you'd be lucky if it even bought you a tie for your suit. So people can really see that over a period of time, the dollar has consistently decreased in value, but if you plot it against gold, not only has it remained stable, it's continued to go up. And these are one of the factors people should really look at when they look at an investment, is the history, how it's performed. And gold has an excellent track record, and it should be a part of everybody's balanced portfolio.
Well, we want to show you that through what Jonathan has put together here, the all-new, updated 2009 Gold Guide. It is an $80 value. Normally you'd be paying $80 for this. You're going to get it free for listening to the show today, but you've got to pick up the phone and call to get your copy. Now, some places, they charge you to send it out, not the Capital Gold Group. They're going to get you the guide and send it to you. No obligation. You, in your home, can look this over, study it, see if it's right for you. Find out about gold investing, especially right now, when things are so upside down in these markets and people are wondering where to go. This so-called flight to safety, Jonathan. Let's give them the number so that everyone listening can at least get a copy of the Gold Guide free today.
Absolutely. That number, folks, is 1-800-510-9594. Again, it's 1-800-510-9594. The Gold Guide will show you how to purchase gold at the lowest possible prices, which gold coins and bars will give you a better return in the future. And again, if you have an IRA or a 401k from a previous employer, just like it was featured in the Wall Street Journal, you can now roll that over into an IRA backed by solid gold. It's still an IRA. You still get your statements, but rather than being invested in the risky paper, you have solid gold for your retirement waiting there.